Someone hurt you. You replay it. You imagine the moment they finally feel what you felt. And for a second, it almost feels good. But here is what psychology tells us about that feeling, and why the people who choose to forgive are not the ones who are weak. They are the ones who understand something most people never figure out. Most people miss what is actually happening in their brain during this. Stay with this video. By the end, you will see revenge and forgiveness completely differently, and you will understand which one is actually serving you. If this topic resonates, drop a comment with one word. Either revenge or forgiveness. No explanation needed. Just one word. Imagine this. A friend you trusted shares something you told them in confidence. You find out months later. Everyone in your circle knows. You do not say anything at first, but inside, something shifts. You start planning. Mentally rehearsing what you would say. You imagine their reputation taking a hit. You imagine the look on their face. And there is something almost satisfying about that image. That satisfaction has a name, it has a mechanism, and it has consequences your conscious mind does not immediately see. That is where it gets interesting. Your brain treats revenge as a reward. Neuroimaging studies show that when people anticipate getting back at someone who wronged them, the caudate nucleus activates. And that is the same reward circuit that fires when you eat, win, or feel pleasure. This is why revenge feels logical. It feels like balance, like closure. Your brain is literally telling you, this will fix it. But here is the problem. The actual act of revenge rarely delivers what the anticipation promised. Psychologists call this the revenge paradox. The imagined version is almost always more satisfying than the real one. You get the revenge, and instead of relief, you feel empty, sometimes worse. Because the story is still there, the wound is still open. You just added another chapter. There is a deeper reason this cycle keeps repeating. When someone hurts you and you do not process it, your mind defaults to a loop. Psychologists call this rumination. Repetitive, involuntary thinking focused on distress. Rumination keeps the threat active in your nervous system. Your body does not distinguish between a memory and a present moment. Every time you replay what they did, your cortisol rises, your heart rate shifts, your body re-enters the state of someone being attacked. Revenge fantasies are one of the most common forms of rumination. They feel like problem solving. They are not. They are the mind stuck in a pattern it cannot exit without a decision. The decision is not about them. It is about you and what you are willing to keep carrying. Most people misunderstand what forgiveness actually is, and that misunderstanding is costing them. Here is what most people get wrong about forgiveness. They think it means you approve of what happened, that you are excusing someone, that you are letting them off the hook. You are not. Forgiveness, in clinical psychology, means you are no longer allowing the past event to generate active threat responses in your nervous system. It is a biological reset. Research from the Journal of Behavioral Medicine found that people who practiced forgiveness showed lower blood pressure, reduced cortisol, improved immune function, and significantly lower depression scores. Forgiveness is not something you do for the other person. It is something your nervous system does for itself. The person who wronged you may never know, may never apologize, may not even remember. But your body is still paying the cost of holding the case open. And that brings us to the deeper scientific reason, the one that changes how you see this entirely. Here is the neurological picture most people never see. That when you hold on to a grudge, the amygdala, the brain's threat detection center, stays partially activated. It flags the person who hurt you as a danger. Every time they are mentioned, or you think of them, the amygdala signals threat. Your prefrontal cortex, which handles rational thinking and emotional regulation, has to work harder to manage that response. Over time, chronic amygdala activation correlates with reduced prefrontal cortex function, meaning the longer you hold the grudge, the harder it becomes to think clearly, regulate your emotions, and make decisions that serve your long-term interests. Revenge fantasies flood the brain with dopamine in short bursts, but fail to resolve the underlying threat signal. Forgiveness, the act of cognitively reclassifying the threat as resolved, actually quiets amygdala activity and restores prefrontal function. Your brain literally thinks better after it forgives. Culture teaches you that forgiveness is weakness. But that if you forgive, you did not value yourself enough to fight back. That the person who forgives just did not care enough. That is almost entirely backward. Forgiveness requires more cognitive and emotional effort than revenge. Revenge is automatic. It is the brain's default setting. Forgiveness is deliberate. It is regulated. It requires you to override a biological impulse in favor of a conscious choice. In evolutionary psychology, the ability to forgive selectively, to distinguish genuine threats from resolved ones, is associated with higher social intelligence and long-term cooperative success. The person who forgives is not the person who could not fight back. They are the person who understood the difference between winning the moment and controlling their life. Take a moment with this. Is there someone in your life you are still mentally prosecuting? Not someone you are actively fighting, someone you think about. It's someone whose name still shifts your mood. Someone you are waiting to see fail or apologize or suffer the way you did. Now ask yourself this directly. Who is that actually hurting right now? Not theoretically, not philosophically, right now, in your body, in your attention, in the energy you bring to your day. Who is paying the cost of keeping that case open? You do not have to forgive instantly. You do not have to forgive completely. But you do need to be honest about what holding on is costing you. Revenge is the brain's first response to pain. It is fast, automatic, and biological. It is also one of the most expensive habits a mind can develop. Forgiveness is not about them. It is about reclaiming the mental and neurological resources you have been spending on a fight that already ended. The person who hurt you may have moved on completely. They may be sleeping well, thriving, living freely. And you have the choice to do the same, not because they deserve it, because you do. The most powerful thing you can do after someone hurts you is become someone they never had the power to break.